Inherited Properties by Rosetta Monique Smith, Part 1. Like a traveler, I am arriving at a point of understanding the depth and magnitude of my life. It is making sense now. Constantly, I examine parts of it, seeking to define sources that bewildered me. As I turn the pages to the chapters of my life, over and over again in my head, I feel like a painfully sharp, jagged-edged stone is twisting into my brain. Some points are sharp enough to cut, while others are uneven and broken. That's me, broken. It was a frosty day in January 1953 in Cleveland, Ohio, the day of my birth. It was probably less than 65 degrees in the sterile maternity ward operating room in the Mary B. Talbot Hospital at 3 o'clock in the morning. In the 1930s, they converted the hospital to a home for ostracized Black women and girls. Had the hospital not closed in the 1960s, it would be 92 years old today. According to my birth certificate, my mother was married to my father. They were simply in a very precarious situation. First, they were at a financial disadvantage. Second, they lived in an era when very few hospitals accepted Blacks, no matter the income. From an old photograph, the building appears creepy. I can only guess that they made the structure of deep red brick. The dismal-looking edifice stood about 4 stories high. I imagine what the interior felt like to walk through those hollow, echoing hallways, with its dimly lit stairways, whitewashed walls, and round-shaped lights hanging from the ceiling, so many feet apart. 379 beds filled the rooms. My mom and I occupied one of those beds for a few days, the week of my birth. Curiosity has me wondering if the building had that mustiness of aging even then, or the antiseptic smell of a well-scrubbed hospital. The puzzling circumstances of it all remind me of a Steven Spielberg movie. Again, I can only imagine what Mom thought as she sat on the bed with me, nuzzled against her breast, in my symbolic orphan's blanket. Uncertain perhaps about her future, her thoughts filled with questions, with overwhelming emotions not felt before. What did she think? Did she wonder what to do with me from then on? I imagine my eyes were not quite open yet, with my fists balled and tucked down into the folds of that blanket. I can only trust the donor, the warmth, and the destiny that God had provided me. But I fear Mom sat there astounded by what nature had brought forth. Did she kiss me with loving care? Did she cry tears of joy or agony? Several years ago, I sat reading a book while having my coffee and a breakfast sandwich in a local Dunkin' Donuts shop, when 2 white men from a nearby table burst into laughter. They were sharing a joke. One man took a covert look around to see if anyone overheard him say, "They were born in the wrong gene pool." I did not know whom they were referring to or why. It occurred to me that the main occupants of the coffee shop were West Indian and Black people. His comment gave me food for thought. It held a profound meaning for me in the future. As I reflected on the various episodes of my life, I recognize that a newborn child does not come with a manual like some kitchen appliance. Nope. There's no written instruction on the operating mechanics of raising a child. At age 20, Mom was barely an adult. Neither of us were fully aware of how that concept, wrong gene pool, would affect our lives.